guys, how's it going? Hello. I just lost my train of thought that early. Holy moly. So, how are you guys doing? Drop me a comment and let me know where you're listening from. Let me know if you're catching me live. Let me know if you're catching me on the replay. It's been a crazy day. It's really ugly out. It is really just shitty out. Pardon my French. Joe is saying hello. He's here. But I want to talk to you guys about counting macros. A lot of people are asking me, like, well, why don't you count? Because I touched on that last night. And speaking of, I just wanted to say thank you all for sharing and the love and the support for last night's live. If you didn't catch it, it's below. I was talking about 9 reasons why you're failing at the keto diet, and I'm so blessed. You all, it was like 175 shares. You're welcome, Annie. Annie says she's been watching my videos all day and appreciates my knowledge. I hope you did something else besides watch little old me. But I'm glad. I hope that you guys learned something. I am just thankful for you all so very much. So let me know if you are listening for your first time. I am trying my best to get back to everyone's questions that have hit me up in the inbox. And yeah, so Joe is here on my lap, so I apologize for just being a little distracted. But so many people are asking or saying, okay, well, why do you count macros and how and what is a macro and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so first and foremost, a macro is a macronutrient. It is your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. So those should be considered a factor, but there's so many more, and like those ratios per individual can be configured to get yourself into ketosis or to achieve your health goals or to build muscle. So you reconfigure these calculations depending on where you find them based on your custom body and like what your health goals are. And then you have to like enter everything in, weigh all your stuff and everything like that. I do not do this because for a lot of reasons, and I'll go into it in a second. But for 90% of you, and this is kind of why I do it too, there's so many other things that are more important than counting your macros at the stage of the game that I'm learning about all of y'all. So if you're a newbie at keto, drop newbie in the comments. I just want to prove a point that most people are new at keto, and really most people who stumble on the keto diet either want to lose weight, really increase their energy. Drop in your comments. I want to know. I want to see what you guys, if you don't have to go into your whole life stories, like that's fine, but just tell me like why you stumbled into keto and what some of your health goals are in like 1 or 2 words. It looks like there's a lot of newbies on. That's kind of awesome. So because of that, just about the 10 or 50 people that are commenting now, because of where you're at in the ketogenic lifestyle, there's no need to count macros. What you need to be really, 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 really good at is keto foods. I talked about this last night a little bit briefly, but like everyone thinks that keto is bacon, butter, meats, and that's it. And it's that, but it's also veggies. And so for those that don't know, I teach ketogenic health coaching, but my premise and foundation are in a Primal Principle. So I paleo primal. So like there's foundations in that modality that are very exact to keto. I just reduced the carb intake. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. My whole teaching has been on about eating keto foods or primal healthy normal foods and getting your plate correct. So your plate should be meats, or actually should be veggies first. So green leafy veggies, broccoli, green beans, kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, and then it should be meats, your proteins, your clean proteins, not so much lunch meats, but like clean chicken. You know, you want to go organic as much as possible, but you know, we're living in a real world, so it's not always necessary, or possible. So like chicken and beef and pork and eggs and those kind, bacon, those are all good things, but you don't want to be reliant on just like lunch meat and hamburgers, like processed stuff. You want real clean food. So that's why I don't focus on that, and that's why I don't really teach it. For one, is because you really got to get dialed in. And notice that I didn't say cheese, and I didn't say, like sugar-free or artificial proteins, or not even artificial, but like people think, well, I have to get my protein in, so I'm going to buy a protein shake from Walmart, and not realizing that there's artificial stuff in it. So like checking your labels is more important than counting your macros. That's the first point. So really dial in on what a keto food is. And if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments, and I would really appreciate if you like this. Definitely drop a share for me and tag some friends that you feel like need to hear this. The second thing, the reason why, and then like I personally just don't count because I get really, really good and really focused on that. And when you focus on just that, your weight's going to drop, because people say, well, I'm struggling and I'm stalled and this and that. And then when I look at their food profile, I'm like, okay, well, this is wrong. They're too much cheese and stuff like that, or they're eating a whole bunch of nuts. Notice I didn't say nuts and stuff like that too. So that's really important. The second missing link and what happens and why I don't count macros is because I move my body. Granted, it's my New Year's thing. I'm going to get into it. It's my last week of like putzing around and not doing it, but I'm gonna focus in my 21-day challenge that I'll put the link above. We're gonna move our bodies. Moving your body is really more important than counting a macro, because you need to move your body. It really just regulates your hormones, increases that serotonin in your body, just really gets everything going. So that's more important than counting a macro. Keeping your stress, like I talked about before, keeping your stress is way, way more important. Down is way more important than sitting on your phone and counting your macros. And if you are guilty of sitting on your phone and counting macros and pissed off because you didn't achieve your fats and your proteins for the day, and you're like trying to eat some ranch dressing and stuff like that, feel free to ask questions. Just proteins and veggies can be boring. How can we spice things up? Okay, so that's actually a good question. I use a lot of like seasoning, and yeah, it's boring, but you're not eating. Okay, that's actually a really good point. So when we dial in on our keto foods, we need to realize that like we're eating ketogenically to achieve a health goal or to function optimally. When we function optimally, we want to do that, we use food for fuel, not for pleasure and stuff like that. So yeah, like mixing it up is important by mixing up your meats and proteins and stuff like that, and like just jumping on Pinterest and like trying to find recipes. And paleo recipes are really good because they're not all full of cheese. So a lot of people are, if you're guilty of this, because I used to be too when I was first starting out, is bacon and cheesy buffalo chicken dip and stuff like that. So yeah, like you really just want to use your food for fuel. So I went on a little tangent. I hope that kind of answers your question. And then when you are in social things, the buffalo chicken dip's okay because you're not running on it for a staple. You want that to be, you want that buffalo chicken dip to be like a treat, you know what I mean? Or like a bowl of berries is like a treat, or like the keto mousse is like a treat, like those kind of things to switch it out. So, Sarah, I hope that answered your question. So yeah, okay, back to the third point, is you want to keep your stress down. The way you keep your stress down is to like meditate, go for a walk, which goes back into moving your body and stuff like that. So like just keeping your stress down is way more important than counting your macros. And again, because of most of us are all new to this, it's just focusing on these types of things is way more important than sitting on your phone and counting your macros and weighing your meats and whatever. So there's that. And then the fourth point is fasting. An intermittent fasting, focusing on that, shrinking your window of intermittent eating. So instead of eating past like 6 or 7 or 8, you're gonna not eat past then, and then give your body a fasted state so like it has time to process. Because like a lot of us are guilty. I mean, hey, I have like crap here that I'm snacking on and I don't even know what time it is, but we have to like just really keep in mind that like the later we eat, the more it messes up our body's balance with the circadian rhythm. So it's going to mess up your sleep. And then it messes up that process of like rest and relaxation. So there you go. I'm going to keep on my notes here, and then I'll get back to your questions at the end. So just really shrinking that time, focusing on intermittent fasting is way more important, and learning how to do all those things first before we go into counting your macros. And then the fifth reason why I don't count my macros is because I drink ketones. So you guys are probably like, oh, what's that? So drinking ketones is just like supplementing with a spinach, or supplementing with iron pills instead of eating spinach. So remember, okay, my friend Michael Rutherford does a great analogy. Okay, so sometimes people are like, okay, well, I don't know about drinking ketones, blah, 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 blah. There's so much controversy over it. Well, I have a cool video from Ryan Lowry, who wrote the Ketogenic Bible. He talks about the applications of the drinking ketones. There's just so many benefits to it. It's not just fat loss. Drinking your ketones is the same thing as drinking a protein shake to get protein versus having to drink a whole bunch of eggs. Remember back in the day when Rocky made an egg shake in the morning and drank all that protein because there was no protein bars around then. This is the same thing. We have a new technology where instead of forcing ourselves into ketosis by counting our macros, you can actually drink your ketones and get into ketosis regardless of what you eat. So this doesn't mean that you can eat a bunch of sandwiches and cakes and candies and slap a Band-Aid on a eating problem and expect to lose weight. But what happens is you can not count your macros, focus on dialing in on your keto foods, moving your body, reducing your stress, focus on intermittent fasting, incorporating a ketone reboot here and there, achieve your health goals without stressing yourself out if you're doing it right, because you know you're getting the benefits of ketones because you're supplementing and drinking them. So that's just super, super, super important. People are asking, do I drink them daily and how much daily? Okay, I drink 1 to 3 a day, depending. I have some health issues that I use ketones in addition to my health plan to mitigate some things, and it's just been super helpful. So I do 1 to 3. I use 1 before bed. I drink to get into ketogenic state overnight. And then in the morning, I have bulletproof coffee, keto cream type coffee, which is like our bulletproof. It's like a powder. And then I don't eat until noon. So I usually don't eat past 7 or 8. And then I drink ketones before bed, sleep really well, wake up, drink keto cream in the morning, and then have a ketone around 12 or 1. And then maybe another one if I'm having a crazy day and need some focus, and then rinse and repeat. I don't count my macros, like I said. I just really use this because it gets my mental clarity so much deeper. Laser focus, my energy, fat loss. I lost 15 pounds from them. This is just something I've been helping hundreds and hundreds of people. I kid you not, in the last year since I've incorporated ketones into my practice, I've helped so many more people. Things have just been crazy. Like my cousin, Sean, he lost, I don't even know, 87 pounds. He's older than I am and just graduated the police academy. There's so many different applications for drinking your ketones. The cognitive benefits, the DNA repair, there's just so many different things that you guys really should consider doing, and I'm a huge fan of them. I use one brand. I've tried them all. Everyone's like, well, can I get them cheaper? Can I do that? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, but you get what you pay for. And I do all of my research based on authorities that are in the ketogenic space that use the product that I use, and I definitely would love to get you on a 5 or 10 day trial. And then that actually gets me in on what I'm going to do tomorrow. So my friend, Dr. Jeremy Thornton, and I are going to do a webinar on the power of ketones and like how ketones get you in a fat burning state, how it helps you with your mental clarity, how it helps you DNA repair and all that stuff. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to do a webinar tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to drop the link in the comments above, or the description above. The only catch is that I only have 100 spaces, so you need to register. But if you can't make it on the webinar tomorrow, that's totally fine. You just need to put your email in there, and then you will get a replay if you can't make it. But I just need everyone to register because I only have a certain amount of spots. So that being said, I hope you guys can make it tomorrow. If you guys have any questions at all, definitely drop them in the comments. I appreciate you. Sarah, you're on. Yay. I hope you are feeling better, boo. Sarah's my human biologist friend. Usually we do a keto show. I've been doing it without her, and I miss you. But yes, so that is all I have to say about that. I love you guys so much. Thank you so very much for the support. If you guys have questions about the brand I use and you want to get on a 5 or 10 day trial, register for the webinar in the link above, and I will also send you a comment as well, and send me a message, and we'll get you all linked up with all the information. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.